Yeah, I've got no idea what's going on,
That's
obviously.
all right. Then we're in the right place. Yeah.
We're in the right place, man.
Thank you.
Josh, hey, wait, man, come here. What's up? I'm scared. Hey, yeah. I'm an addict named Mark, and we got a workshop going here. Hi, and I'm gonna introduce the first speaker. This chick from Guam, man.
I'm Darcy, I'm an addict, and when I'm done, I'll introduce the second speaker. It's this dude from the UP. named Mark. Hey, I feel short, but okay. Active change in ideas and attitudes. I was just asked to speak this morning before breakfast, and so I decided an hour ago that I wasn't going to think about what to share, that it would come to me when I'm up here. So on that note, I'm going to take a moment and allow God in. All right. I was hoping the podium would be full because I'm in my pajamas. But I figured this is my family. This is my 250-member family over here. So I was actually really happy. I don't know how long I have to speak. Like if somebody could tell me 5 minutes. Huh? Oh. All right. So I thought you were going to say 3. So, but if somebody could tell me when I have like 5 minutes or something, because I can't talk. Active change in ideas and attitudes. I was really happy when I heard that because it's actually something I feel I've been actively working on for at least 3 years, is the ability to change my attitude, like, quickly. You know, I have been told that I'm a real positive person, and I am. I'm a very positive person. I feel I have a great outlook on life today. But it's funny because I struggle with depression, and so it just doesn't come natural. I don't wake up in the morning and, you know, like, see the sunshine right away. You know, it takes me, you know, working in my mind to come to the place where life is positive, and today's a good day. Today's a new day. It's a new life. Clean today. Everything's good today. It takes work, and then all throughout the day, negativity will come naturally. I don't have to look for negativity. All that comes naturally. It's the opposite that I have to actively seek, you know? I use the analogy of I have a recovery bank account, and I have to make deposits, and then withdrawals are made in my recovery, you know? And making deposits are, you know, working my program, like working my steps and prayer and meditation, and, you know, being in contact with my sponsor and my sponsees, and service work, and all the components of my recovery program, right? All of those are deposits. And like in my mind, I know that I have to actively make deposits, like continually, because just daily life takes the withdrawals. You know, I don't have to make decisions. Oh, I'm gonna go, you know, make a withdrawal today. No, those come naturally. You know, bad traffic, and my attitude is bad, and that's a withdrawal in my recovery, you know? And if I don't actively make deposits, then over time it slowly depletes, and, you know, I get close to that. There's a line that if I go under, then, you know, that's when I'm gonna not have recovery anymore. And so I have to make sure that I'm above that line. It's just like money, you know, like that shit disappears. And, you know, and, you know, I have to like find money and deposit it into my bank account. And so it's the same with my recovery. Like it just disappears on its own because of, you know, life on life's terms and daily stuff, you know, it just goes. And, you know, shit happens. And so we have to make continual deposits, you know, to, and I feel like my recovery bank account right now is, what's the word for you have a lot of money in your account? Lucky. Oh, yes, rich, I've heard that. Yes, rich. My recovery is very rich. Yes. Lucky, that's funny. Because it's probably the opposite. When I was in California, I was on the newsletter subcommittee for my area in California. And I wrote it, this might be off topic, but maybe I'll come back. But I wrote an article for the newsletter. It was March, so it was, the topic for the newsletter was luck, right? And so I wrote an article about, it was titled Bad Luck or Divine Intervention. And I wrote about how, you know, when I got arrested, I was like, you know, who gets arrested the way I get arrested? Like, it's seriously just bad luck. Like, you want to know? I was shopping. I was shopping. I lost my purse in the store, right? And realized that I lost it like 5 minutes later, but somebody had turned it in to the store, security, or whoever they say they are, and and my stuff was in it, right? But my stuff was, so then I went back, you know, asking for my purse, and, you know, they took like 45 minutes to get me my purse from the safe. They told me something like, oh, it's the kind of safe that has a time delay, and you know, I'm like, okay, so I continue shopping, right? And anyway, the cops came and returned my purse, and they said that the security people were looking for my ID in my purse and found my stuff. And I'm like, okay, my stuff is in a bag this size, like inside the inside zipped pocket of my purse, underneath my feminine products. Like, an ID really is gonna be in a circular bag? Anyway, that's bad luck, right? Bad luck. But just like Jimmy shared last night, you know, I wasn't arrested, I was rescued, right? And that was the article. It was, you know, it was divine intervention, because I wasn't near ready to stop. But, you know, I'm one of those, one arrest scared me straight. 7 hours in jail for me was 7 hours too long. I seriously could have been diagnosed with PTSD after my 7 hours of jail time. That's me, it's too much. But you know what, it was too much because I was 36 years old, and my children were 17 and 12, and my husband was deployed and overseas, and like the cops were telling me that you know, they were gonna have to call CPS because my husband's deployed, and who's gonna watch the kids, and so like in a flash I was facing losing my kids again. I had lost my kids, you know, when I hit rock bottom in 99, like October 29, 1999, when they were 6 and 14 months old, you know. And, you know, I fought so hard to get them back. And, you know, I first found recovery in 2000, and I lost them in 99. I found NA in 2000. I found NA, a friend was trying to help me and couldn't help me, and she dropped me off at a church at a curb, and she said, go in that door and somebody in there will take you home. And they did, they did. They didn't just take me home, they took me in and helped me, change my life. They loved me. Anyway, I had fought so hard to get my kids back for so long, and I had to fight hard, and when I lost my kids, I lost everything. I lost my house, I lost my job, I lost my first husband, even though he had to go anyway. But, but I did. I got my kids back. I got a job back. I got a second husband. I got my life back through, the program, right? And I had worked the 12 steps, and I worked so hard. And then, now it's 2010, and I'm being arrested, and the cops are threatening CPS, And the kids are older, they're 17 and 12, and so, somebody had to say, mom's in jail for drugs. Like, when they were 6 and 1, they didn't know what was going on, but, it really hurt my relationship with my girls. My 17-year-old, Mia was, and man, she can be mean. Anyway, because I had already known NA and worked steps previously, I knew. So I got arrested on November 13th and November 14th. So I spent 7 hours in jail. I got out of jail at like 2 in the morning. But that night, I was at a meeting. In California, and then that was it. Like, I'm scared straight. I ended up not losing my kids because because that maybe is luck. But anyway, so that arrest was divine intervention, not luck. So back to the topic, so sorry. Active change in ideas and attitudes. So since then, that was, when I got arrested, it was an eye-opener. Like, when I first got arrested, I was like, that's not mine, and that's such an illegal search, like, and I was trying to fight it and acting, whoever picked it up, put it, whatever, and, in the store. And, but, like, still in the store, I finally, broke. I mean, in a minute, I broke. Like, I went from fighting it, acting like there's no problem and that's not my shed and, that's not a security guard, to, oh, shit, it was, my eyes really open. Like, I'm 36 years old and I'm still doing this, what the, and so when I got back to NA, I had decided, I had made the decision that I was going to change, that was it. I can't do this anymore. I'm going to lose everything again. I know I'm going to, because I know that's how it happens, because I lost it all before. It's a progressive disease. And sure enough, when I finally did pick up my drug of choice again, so, I, real short about my relapse, but I was in the program in Guam, and then I moved back to Hawaii, and was in recovery there. And then I met my new husband, who's a normie, and we moved to Texas. And when I moved there, I was going to reconnect in NA just like I did when I moved from Guam to Hawaii. But then I had a new husband telling me, Darcy, you're not an addict. See, he met me when I was clean, right? He met me when I was in recovery. And he said, you're not an addict, you know, you just use drugs because you went through a hard time or something like that, you know? And I'm like, wow, that sounded nice, you know? Like, wow. I like that. Okay, you're right. I was young and dumb and I, you know, didn't know. And you know, that was just childish behavior. You know, I was, you know, didn't like my life and didn't like, so I, you know, that, yeah, okay. So, and then he, in his infinite wisdom, he's wonderful. Anyway. But he said, we just moved to a new place. You don't know anybody here. If you go to NA, that you'll just find people and connections, and you know, you have a new life now. And anyway, bottom line, I didn't reconnect, and I didn't pick up my drug of choice after that for 4 more years. You know, like it doesn't necessarily happen right away. Like you quit going to meetings and you know, eventually everything dropped off, right? Like I stopped going to meetings and then I, you know, stopped working steps, and then I fell out of contact with my sponsor in Hawaii. And, you know, I eventually, maybe a year later, started drinking. Like, well, I'm not an addict, right? My husband's told me that. And so I can have a drink, I can have a glass of wine at this party, and, you know, so I started drinking maybe a year after. Alcohol is not my drug of choice, but I'll tell you, it's inevitable. Like, you know, you may think, oh, I'm good. You know, I started drinking in 3 years. I was drinking, but it's inevitable. You know, it's inevitable. Alcohol is a drug. I had relapsed. And sure enough, I had picked up my drug of choice and was, you know, in handcuffs. Like, you know, some people, they don't go to meetings for a while, and, you know, they're not in jail, so they think they're good, they got this, and, you know, but it's inevitable. But I said I made a decision, right, that I was going to change after that. And so I went to the meeting the night after that. I had a sponsor within 1 week. I started working the steps like the next week with her. You know, I knew what I needed to do. I had the knowledge. I knew what I needed to do. And I had a determination that I never knew before, you know. Like, I had worked so hard at repairing the relationship with my daughter before, my oldest daughter, and now she's not talking to me again, you know, and she's mean. And so I was gonna work and change and never use again. And I knew that just didn't happen with saying I'm gonna quit, like, you know. And it was rough. Like, you know, I had a court case, so I had to I was a first-time offender, and California has this program. You can, you know, go through this program. The 2 felonies got dropped to a misdemeanor if you go to, you know, these classes and you're on probation for a while. And so I was doing that, and then, but those classes wasn't what helped me. It was the program. Like, I started working steps right away, and like I knew from the first time around that that's the program and that's what's gonna help me change. Like, this is a 12-step program, you know, that's what helps us change. And sure enough, I mean, I got into the steps, and you know, today I'm at a point where I feel like, well, I know that so much of our attitude or our outlook or our, you know, the principles that we live by is a daily decision. Like, I wake up every morning and I have a choice to either be positive or be negative. Or I could be kind, or I could be mean like my daughter. She didn't get it from nowhere. Or, you know, it's a choice. Like I can actively choose how I'm gonna be that day, and I believe that. I believe in the law of attraction, that if I focus on positive things, then my life is going to be positive. If I focus on negative things, my life is going to be negative, and I'm real careful lately with the words that I choose to use. I have actively for years worked on just not using negative words, even if I'm saying that I'm not gonna be like that. I'll say the positive word. I'm gonna be kind, and I don't use the negative word associated with that. And I feel that makes a difference. My words affect my thoughts, which affect my behaviors, right? But I also believe it goes both ways. My thoughts affect my words that affect my behavior, right? And so if I think positive, I'm going to speak positively, and then I'm going to act positively. And if I speak positively, I'm going to think positively, and then I'm going to act positively. And that really does shape my day every day, but it's daily. It still just doesn't come natural. It comes faster because I've practiced it, for years. It's practice, but it doesn't come natural. I still have a diagnosis of, clinical depression. And so, and life is still life, right? This past year has been difficult, life on life's terms. I'm getting ready to move again in 3 weeks. And, going through a lot of changes, there's a lot of stress. Like, I don't know what today's date is. I think in 3 days I turn 40. And then in August, my oldest daughter, who we have the closest relationship again. I mean, she moved back to Texas a couple years ago, and she calls me every day. And she texts me all day long. She calls me for everything. We are so close because I actively worked on that relationship, And anyway, she's having a baby. I'm going to be a grandma in August. Yeah. I had her when I was 10. Just kidding. Oh, I already gave my age. Anyway. It's morning, But then my husband's retiring from the military, right? So hopefully this will be our last move in a while. But this past year has been, I've been through some trials, I share so openly, so many know this, but a year ago, I caught my husband walking out of some chick's apartment. And, we had been married 10 years, and, we have a relationship bank account too, right? We make deposits and withdrawals into our relationship. Well, that was a major withdrawal, right? And many marriages, probably most marriages, don't have enough in their account to recover from that big of a withdrawal. However, we did, we had enough in our relationship bank account. God knows I've made withdrawals. Imagine my husband, he's a major in the Marine Corps, and he's deployed, on a ship in the, fighting pirates in the Middle East, in the Gulf of Aden, and, he gets a phone call that his wife's in jail for drugs, and his kids are, who knows what's going to happen. Like, I've made some huge withdrawals myself, right? And who's to say that his withdrawal is any worse than my withdrawals? It's a withdrawal. It's a withdrawal from our account. And it was a withdrawal from my recovery account, Was that 5 minutes? Were you giving me 5 minutes, Vic? Yeah? Yes? Okay. Sweet. Anyway, but to use the same analogy, right, as our recovery bank account, we had enough in our relationship bank account that that we got through that, and we're we're close today, you know. I realized that that's all it was a withdrawal. It was huge. I'm not making light of it, but he had made so many deposits, and I recognized that it was just one part of him, and it was a part that is changeable, you know. Like, I've been in the program and I've seen myself change, and I've seen people change. People can change. People do change. They change. And, you know, he's not in this 12-step program, but he did some other active work to change, you know, and he has changed. And I believe I know he's changed. And, you know, but it's because we had made deposits that withdrawal didn't put us under, you know. And I'm proud of that. I'm proud that because I was working a program, I was able to get through that with some dignity, you know. I didn't cause a scene. I didn't kick him out. I didn't, you know, our kids have no idea. They never heard us argue. You know, not that we didn't, but I never raised my voice. I never cussed at him, you know, because I've been working actively to, you know, on those spiritual principles that we learn in the program, you know. And I was able to put steps on that one issue, you know. Okay, step one, right? I'm powerless over this, right? Anyway, I went all the way through. You know, you can put the steps on all, on everything that you go through. The program works if you work it, and I work it, and so I know the steps, and I know them so well that I'm able to put steps on issues quickly, like, and work through them faster and faster over time. You know. Active change in ideas and attitudes. Change comes from working the steps. You know, there's a meeting I go to on Thursday nights in Mishawaka, and somehow the topic of the 12 steps has come up quite often lately. And you know, it's because, and I'm glad it has, because this is a 12-step program. It's not a go-to-meeting program. It's not a, you know, work service program. It's not a hang out with cool people program. You know, God knows we wouldn't hang out outside this program. You know, it's a 12-step program. Everything else is a fellowship. Like, I have another analogy, right? I have two legs in my recovery. I have the program and the fellowship. And the program are the 12 steps, like, period. Like, so it goes from 1 to 12, right? And, you know, you don't get the full leg until you work all 12. And then this side is everything else, which is also just as necessary, right? The meetings and fellowship and service and sponsorship and 12-step work and, right, everything else, right? But all of that is on your other leg, you know, this leg. And I think there's, you know, there's people who walk crooked, right? Yeah. You know, they walk crooked. Either both ways too. I know people that work steps and I never see them. You know, like they're crooked too. And so, you know, anyway, change comes through the steps, and you know, you learn the steps well enough, you'll be able to change fast. You know, change your ideas and attitudes. You know, I am leaving in 3 weeks. I'm moving to Texas. Indiana has been good to me, very good to me. I have, like, fallen in love with the people here, and it's going to be difficult to leave, but I'm not new to moving, you know, so, you know, thank God for Facebook, right? And, but I want to say thank you somehow, you know, to the people up here for loving me and, letting me love them, and it's just I just love you guys. And it really is a family, like true family. I had people there on that day, you know, in the apartment complex. Like I had people there, right there, quickly for me, you know, as I have been for them, or I would be for them, and you know, I moved so much. I'm military. I don't have family around here, like biological blood family, you know, but I have a bigger family who do, sometimes there's people in recovery that do more. We do more for each other many times than we do for our own blood, you know, whether that's good or bad, whatever, you know, but it happens and it's great. Anyway, thank you so much. Now the dude from the UP.
Wow. Good morning. I'm an attitude. My addict is Mark or something. I don't know what. Yeah, I'm an addict. I'm an addict, and my name's Mark. And I was looking for something in the literature, because when I get off the literature, the bullshit starts, okay? So I like to try to get to some of the truth, you know? And the name of this workshop is taken out of our basic text in a chapter called "What Can I Do?" And I can look at that question with a shrug of the shoulder, or what can I do? Have I reached the end of the road yet, man? So in the paragraph, it says, developing the concept of God as we understand Him is a project that we can undertake. We can also use the steps to improve our attitudes. Our best thinking got us into trouble. We recognize the need for change. Our disease involved much more than just using drugs, so our recovery must involve much more than simple abstinence. Recovery is an active change in our ideas and attitudes. So, there it is. It's recovery. So what the hell is recovery? I like this other paragraph that's at the end of I don't know who is an addict or what is the NA program. But this is what it says. Many books have been written about the nature of addiction. This book primarily concerns itself with the nature of recovery. If you're an addict and you have found this book, please give yourself a break and read it. Give yourself a break, man. What can I do? Give myself a break. It took me a while to get to giving myself a break, you know, because I wasn't that bad yet. But I wasn't ready for an active change in ideas and attitudes yet. I don't know, really. Like, I've heard, you know what, man? I got to get this out, you know. Thank you to the people that come here. Thank you for the people that continually put this thing on. Because those of us that come back here, this place has a special place in our heart, man. There are people in our lives that we only see here. We don't remember each other's names. I mean, I'll tell you right now, I don't remember nobody's name. I got a wife, man, and sometimes I forget her name, and you know. But I'm really, you know, I'm not good with names. Other people ain't good with names. I don't like wearing name tags because I don't want to fit in that much, you know. But I'm trying. And sometimes, you know, my phone usually will start ringing about a week or two before. You going? Yeah, man, we'll see you there. Sometimes people that are in our lives that we know from here, that we've made that connection here, we talk throughout the year. Yeah, Camp Mac's coming up. Shit, it's 10 months out, but it's coming up, you know. Yeah, man, it's coming up. Where are you going to go this year? But I do. I have a lot of gratitude for the folks that put this together, and I have a lot of gratitude to be a part of Narcotics Anonymous, because I don't know. I wouldn't really. I mean, the first time I ever went to a meeting, I wasn't thinking about no active change and ideas and attitudes. I just was thinking that maybe if I could just get my shit together, the next time it wouldn't be as bad, you know, because there was going to be a next time. I was down with that I can make all the promises and Jesus, oh man, I'd pray to God, please get me out of this. I'll never do it again. And I would mean that shit, man. But then here would come somebody with something. Yeah. And I just got out, so I forgot. I forgot already, you know. And here we go, off to the races, man. So how do you, again, how did I get here again? You know, I used to ask that question, how did I get here again? I knew the answer. But to really pursue this active change in ideas and attitudes, it only comes, and I've heard it, you know, we have these themes, man. Like, see, I'm like sitting here kind of skeptical, you know. I don't really want to be a part of, because all my life I've fashioned myself as quite the rugged individualist, you know. I'm not a joiner. The only time I'm around a group is so I can like get over on your ass, because I'm going to find some chumps, you know, and I'm going to get what I need to get, and I'm going to go. So this concept of, first of all, the loving words that we hear keep coming back. What do you want? You know, when we get here, man, I don't know. When I got here, I didn't have nothing to give. So I couldn't comprehend why somebody would want me back. Because where I come from, we wanted you back for one reason. You were easy, man. You were real easy. Bring your ass back here. You had resources. See, my resources were getting kind of used up. So, to get from, like, to me, in our literature, man, there's these wise words that, like, I'm not ready to hear them yet, but all of a sudden, depending on where I'm at, this is what I read this book almost every day. I used to sit up here and tell you I read every goddamn day. But I lie, man. But I do read a couple pages every day. And I stay in the first book. I don't go into the second book. People do. Yeah. And you know, people love the second book. Me, I want a story, I'll go to a meeting. That's just how it is for me. Okay, I read them once, I think. I don't know. You know, I don't retain good, man. So, you know, maybe that's why I read a couple pages every day. But depending on where I'm at is where my ideas and attitudes are going to change. See, I want to think that my ideas and attitudes are going to change for the better. See, I always see that side. I want to get better. Well, sometimes I'm already good, and I don't know it. and my ideas and attitudes suck. Okay, and here's what happened to me just a couple days ago. I'm rolling down, what road was that? The one that comes south out of Lansing, 69. And it's about a 7-hour run to get here from our house in the UP. And we're rolling. We ain't holding them up. And we're doing pretty good. And now we've been in the car about 5.5 hours. And the ideas and attitudes are starting to change. And I'm coming to a peaceful place. I'm coming to Camp Mac, man. I got some recovery in my ass. I got gas in the tank. I got my woman there with me, man. All of a sudden, none of these motherfuckers know how to drive. There goes the ideas and attitudes, man. And so I believe if there's 2 lanes, use them, man. You know? My higher power, okay, didn't put 2 lanes to keep my ass blocked up, so I'm gonna run up in this dude, man. You know? I'm starting to get a little tense here. I gotta get to Camp Mac. So, you know, thank God those things don't last as long as they used to. Because there were times, man, one of us would be getting out of the car. Yeah. And then there'd be some interesting conversations. But it's like this winter, I was really lucky. I really was, and I guess it's part of the benefits of being here and learning how to live. We spent the winter in Georgia with our youngest daughter, and we became grandparents too, and that's some good shit, man. That's some good shit. And Debbie helped Valerie deliver that baby. Wow. And there just ain't no shit like that, man. There really ain't. I mean, you know, people talk about it, and me, I'm not much with kids, man. I say things a lot of times, you know, and I don't like to filter myself. I haven't morphed into that change in ideas and attitudes yet. I just say shit, man. But that was really an amazing thing. So I like had time on my hands this winter, and there was a state university down there, and I started taking yoga class. And it was pretty interesting. I was probably the youngest one in the room. And it was pretty cool, but one day I woke up, and I woke up late, and I didn't have time to read, and I was geeked up, and I'm jumping on the bike, and I'm hauling at, and Valdosta, Georgia has the worst traffic light system. Seriously, man, this shit, it's bad. So I'm finding myself just cussing people out, freaked up, geeked up. And I'm thinking, and as I walk into yoga class, you know, I'm thinking, wait, what the hell was that? You know, you're trying to like go to get this calmness, and you're just a bundle of. So the beauty of that is, prior to finding a 12-step program, I'd stay like that all day, man. And the only way I knew how to change was to go get one. There was an active change, you know. There was, and so no matter what I felt, I wanted to change that feeling. If I just got, well, I don't know, if something good, something I determined good, my thinking determined was good, I'd want to celebrate and I'd go get high. And so I'd change that feeling. If I felt like shit, I'd celebrate. No, not celebrate, but I just want to be numb. So I always wanted to change. But it wasn't good. It wasn't good things. The good things come really, truly through these 12 steps. And this project of developing a God as I understand him, I was a hater on that, man, for a long time, man. Because I would get all caught up in the whole hypocrisy of organized religion, and it was a stump I could stand on, you know. And those words, as you understand him, are some of the arms that circle around us that bring us in, I think. And my God, as I understood him, became the rooms. That's how it worked for me. And I don't know. I don't struggle with that stuff as much as I used to. I don't question it as much as I used to. But I used to really question that shit, man. And like, and I've heard it shared here I've heard it shared not just here, but I have heard it here this weekend. Let something happen to me that I think shouldn't happen to me, you know. Then I start doing this whole God questioning thing. And what side of the fence am I going to be on then? Fuck you, that side. Guess what? I don't need this shit. And see, then I start taking over and my ideas and attitudes change. And how long, if I don't come here and talk about that shit, how long is it going to be before I'll get me some good ideas. I will get me some good ideas. And I bet you the results ain't going to be as good as what I get here just trying to go through the shit, man. Because I don't want to go through the shit. I just, man, I like that instant fix. I just want to fix it. I got to go. I'm busy. Doing what? I don't know. But to stay in recovery, see, I got to be careful there, because I still, that drive, that strive for perfection, in the whole thing, will really tangle me up, man. Because, especially if I've, actually been working on a step. Something has happened, and I'm putting a step on it, and it continues to happen, and it don't go away as quick as I think it should. It's at those times I got to watch it, because I'll right away flip the switch to the ideas and attitude will change to, this shit ain't working. This shit don't work, man. Look, I'll start comparing. I ain't identifying shit, I'm comparing, man. Okay? And when I start comparing, there's a winner, there's a loser. Okay? And I'm used to the loser mentality. Okay, I'm real good at beating the shit out of myself, so I will do that. The text tells me that self-pity is the most draining of the defects. But see, I won't call it self-pity. I'll call it why didn't I get what I deserved? See, and I'll forget, if I got what I deserved, I wouldn't be standing in front of my loved people here at Camp Mac on a Sunday morning. I'd be trying to sleep in and telling these bitches next door, man, hey, we don't go to chow on Sunday mornings, man. We sleep in, If I got what I deserved, I'd be in a dormitory setting, all right. 6 to a cube. Shit. The fuck out of my locker. The hell you doing, man? That's where I'd be. But I don't think I deserve that, I think I got something coming. Yeah, I got something coming, all right. You know what I got coming, man? They were setting up a checkpoint the other night when we went to dinner. And we were talking a lot of shit, you know how we get. And I got to thinking, you know what, man? Like regular people, They might go through a checkpoint and they think, well, there's Popo out doing their job, man. They're taking care of us. Me, I mean, I've been clean a long time, okay? I got no warrants. I got a picture on my driver's license. The registration matches the plate and the car. There's insurance on the son of a bitch that I didn't have to go buy from a motorcycle club, okay? But let me hit the checkpoint right away. I got attitude, man. No, we did dodge the checkpoint. Okay, I wasn't gonna go there because I don't like talking to cops, man. I just don't like it, okay? I don't know if that idea and attitude will ever change. Yeah, it has changed, because I remember one time I was in Port Huron, man. And I don't know what I was feeling, because I didn't want to feel whatever it was. But I knew I was looking for a meeting. And you know how we are, man. The meetings a lot of time are in the hood. And I never copped in that particular hood, but I was kind of thinking maybe I could, you know. I probably still had them. See, recovery sometimes gives me money in my pocket. And I think it'll always be there. Well, shit. Those material things, when that idea and attitude changes like that, they go out the door a little cheaper than what they came in the door at. A little cheaper. I pulled a cop over, man, looking for a meeting. And he knew where it was. He knew where it was, man. So I mean, I don't know, like the spiritual awakening thing, you know, taking this project of God as we understand Him, the steps, the 12th step, it tells us these steps lead to a spiritual awakening. I didn't come here for that. I didn't want nothing to do with that shit. I just didn't want the consequences of what was happening when I went out and got one more. See, I wasn't totally convinced that I could not figure out how to get high and not have the consequences. I had to be convinced of that. And it took a while. And then 12 steps, see, by then, here's how my ideas work. Now, let's see, I can take the rent and I can go cop a pound because I ain't using it anymore. And I can cut that shit up and make all the money back and then some. That's a good idea. And if I don't run that by nobody, I'll do it. I will do it. Because I still think like that, man. I still think like that. If I get away, I came to the workshop on complacency because I like to hear about that shit. Because, see, I'll get so have it going on, whatever it is, that I don't want to come here no more. I don't want to put the effort of getting up off my ass, getting in the car that is, like I described, all legal and shit, and driving and going to a meeting. I don't feel the need for that after a while. So I have to be aware. I have been complacent in my recovery. I went away for, at 13 years, I went away for a couple years, man. And what that resulted in is I damn near killed my wife. Clean. Why? Because anger came in. But see, I didn't name it anger. I would name it irritation, frustration, all these like names that really didn't put me in the light that I should be in, which was fucked up, okay? Devastated. Away from, I'm an addict living a 12-step program. So in order to do that, I need to participate, okay? Because what happens is, to me, what happened, once you get away, it's amazing how quickly I forgot a lot of the shit that y'all so graciously gave me. Okay? And, you know, when Darcy was sharing, man, I can only imagine. Because I know what it's like. Because my stepmother and my father will say that to me. Why do you still go to those meetings, Mark? You've been doing this for a while. You're doing well. Well, look, man, you still invite me to your house. Let me forget this shit, okay? I remember the days when you would invite me to your house and stand right there, you know? I bet they don't inventory when I leave, man. But see, that's what happens. I'll get into the character defects, and I just don't want to name them what they really are. And frustration, petty annoyances, just the bullshit that goes on in relationships. You know how we snipe at each other, and and all of a sudden, man, the anger turns into a full-blown rage. And where did this come from, man? And see, once I get there, the drug, that is the drug. Anger and rage become such a drug. Because it's just an out of control thing, man. And it goes back to the out of controlness that used to occur during drug usage. So I'm really trying today. And see, I remember, I don't know what was going on. Some drama in my life that was just fucking Herculean, It was the biggest. It was the worst. I mean, when it's going on with you, it ain't no big deal, okay? Because we're from the government. We're here to help, But when it's going on with me, oh my God, it's the end of the world as we know it. So I would wake up in the morning, and I would, what do I need to get out of bed today for? There's no reason. I've been, draw a list. Oh, I've been working hard. I've been blah, 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 fucking blah. So what do I got? I look over on the nightstand. I got some books. Oh yeah, I owe this to myself. I'll get a book and I'll read. And I'll just lay in bed, man. And so finally, after, on the days I worked, I went to work, but on days off, I just wouldn't do anything. And so finally, it dawned on me I should probably share this with somebody. My best thinking, So I was talking to my sponsor about it, and he said, man, look, open your eyes. As soon as them eyes open in the morning, that first consciousness, say thank you. Thank you. And then put a foot on the floor. Just put a foot on the floor. And I'm like, what the fuck? It's much deeper than that. I want him to solve my problem and shit. I don't want to hear about thank you and put a foot on the goddamn floor. You know what? I need a new sponsor, man. This is bullshit. Don't he know who he's talking to, man? Man, I got time at this shit. Yeah. Woke up, I said thank you, I put a foot on the floor. And it worked, man. It worked. I didn't use. And see, sometimes I mean, I do. I don't want to take that lightly, man, because sometimes I forget, man, that getting through a day without using, after, it tells us that there's some things we got to do, but that how successful that truly is, because after a while, you know, so the thought goes away, and if it hasn't been there for a while, you know, you kind of forget. I do, and life shows up, man, and listen, this idea is an attitude thing. On any given day, at any given minute, I don't know shit. I'm a mess, man. And I used to try to, like, I don't want to talk about that because that somehow signifies failure. And really, everybody will know what a fake ass I am, and just because I've been coming for a while and shit, and everything's always got to be beautiful. Really? Where you get that shit? Where you get that shit, man? Because you know what? When it is good, it's good, man. Yeah. But look at, I say this because I believe it. You know, recovery, man. We're sitting around them campfires singing Kumbaya and rocking side to side and shit, and it's a beautiful thing, man. All the smiles and the firelight flickering and shit. Let somebody piss you off in your home group. Get up and stomp out of the meeting, man. But then come back. See? That's where the recovery is, man. Anybody can get pissed off and stomp out. Shit, I'm a dope fiend, man. Running, pissing you off, making it. Now, it's your fault. You didn't live up to some bullshit expectation I had. You didn't even ask me what my expectations were. You pissed me off, and it's time for me to go. And that's what I do, and I'll go and make a grand exit. Oh man, there's doors slamming and shit, you know. Like I try to be stealthy on the way in, you know. Let me leave. Be mad as hell because the door didn't slam. Go back, hit that sumbitch again, man. Them closers, you know, they don't make the noise. But I watched it occur the other night at my home group, and people got mad, man, and got up and stomped out, and then came back. And there's the active change in the ideas and attitudes right there, man. See, so if well, in fact, one of the comments I made about that whole thing was, look, man, that who you see here, what you hear here shit, when y'all put this shit on Facebook, get the names right, man. That's right. You know? I mean, goddamn. So, you know, the active change, it's something that I do pursue, and I try to have a good time doing it. I try to really, I don't know where it was, like where the world is a loose garment kind of thing, man, you know? I like that kind of shit. And I just keep coming back. Because this shit makes sense to me. It just makes sense. I've tried it every damn way there is. Look, 12 steps, that's for you guys. I only need about 6, okay? Because I've listened to y'all. You know, that's something about us. We put all our shit out there, man. And I've listened to some shit, and I say, I ain't that bad. I don't need, there's a bunch of them goddamn steps I don't need, man. So let me take the ones I need, you know. Disregard the rest. See, I'll find that part in the book. Take what you need and leave the rest. Well, yeah. Oh, see, it says it. Yeah. So I left some of that shit for about a minute too long and damn near killed the old lady, you know. So, look, I do love y'all, and thank you for loving me in spite of me, or because of me, or lying to me. I don't give a fuck how you want to do it. But I am truly grateful to be a part of this, and thank you.
All right, thank you, Mark. Yeah, you're the man. Yeah, I guess we don't have any time for open mic, so let's close the meeting with a group hug and a prayer.
We had some origins coming out. Take what you like, leave your ass. As far as I recall.
Jamie, you want to take us out?
Take a moment to spot. Suffers inside and outside the circle, that he may die, and alone to differently live, all by the reversion of sin. Thank you.
God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference.